Okay, so this is going to be my next project, or one of them, I should say. These had been on Marketplace for a little while. He had like three of them, and they were 75, and he dropped them down to $30. And I got to thinking about it, and it's like, these would make a good bench vac. Because, I mean, they use the same 6 quart bags, as some of the smaller backpacks. So I figured, at $30, it's probably not a bad deal. So I went to go get one of those today, and he turns it on for me, and it's like I can immediately tell it's rough. And I was like, oh. I'm like, oh, it sounds like it needs a little bit of bearing work, but that's totally fine. I know how to do that. And he's kind of looking at me funny, and he's like, well, I think they are supposed to sound like that. And I'm like, well, they definitely shouldn't. And he had two other ones for sale, and he's like, well, would you like to check out one of the other ones and see if it sounds better? And I'm like, no, that's fine. I know how to do the work. So it's, it really wasn't a big deal. It's just kind of like, But yeah, commercial equipment, that's almost always something you have to deal with is the wear. And I'll run this for you guys so you can hear what it sounds like. Definitely needs bearing work. But, to the untrained ear, it's like I can understand how, you wouldn't have gotten that. But this is kind of interesting. You can reverse the ends on here. You have to switch the bag around too, so you can have the hose sticking off either side. I mean, it kind of feels like, they just took the upper portion of the backpack and turned it horizontal. Except this down here is a little bit different, and I wasn't anticipating that, because it appears that, rather than having the typical bottom exhaust, it looks like things might actually come back towards you to some degree. Actually, why don't we just figure out where that exhaust comes from? Oh, nope, never mind, it does come out down here. And there's a forceful jet of air coming out around the switch, indicating that there might be some sort of... The air might not be flowing too freely around there. But I suppose, if it's anything like the pre-motor filter that was in here, if you can really call it that, it was just kind of one of those spongy material ones. Yeah, it was just sitting down here, and when I pulled the bag out, it came out with it. And as you can see, it had no flexibility in it left, and it just crumbled. Which, again, commercial machine of potentially this age, you have to expect things like that. Because, yeah, August of '98, it's pretty old. So... needs some work, but I mean, it's a pretty simplistic machine, so realistically, once my new 608ZZ bearings arrive, it won't take me long to do. But I'm kind of thinking, this would be a good bench vac. It's like I didn't think I really needed a workbench whenever I get around to moving here, but it's like I'm probably going to continue to bring projects home, so... it'd be nice to have, kind of a dedicated machine for it. And since, the commercial bags, like the 6-quart bags here, should be pretty cheap and easy to find. So, I figure I can just, mount this underneath or something and just put a little power switch up on the top of my bench.